did another poll on the channel. You guys said this time that you wanted to hear me talk about the angriest Uber driver that I've ever had. So we're going to talk about that one today. I have a different song. I've used it before, but I just want to mix it up a little bit every once in a while. It's whatever copyright-free type of stuff I can get away with. So anyways, this story started about a few weeks ago, I think. And I don't always order Uber Eats all that much. Like, I have pretty much stopped doing it ever since then. And the worst part is, I'm pretty sure this Uber Eats guy reported me and said I did something wrong, because now all of a sudden I can't even, get refunded for my orders anymore. Like, there have been times when, I don't always need to get a refund. I'm not somebody who just lies every time and says give me a refund, because after a while they'd probably be able to tell that you're lying and everything, or at least I'd have a feeling they did. But literally this one time, and it said oh, your order's not eligible for a refund, so I'm confused and everything. I'm just thinking maybe it's just some guy doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe it's his first day or something, because I don't know, that happened once with DoorDash. So then I called the company and everything, and they were saying your account has a block on it, and I'm like, what does that mean? They're like, oh, I don't know, it just has a block on it, you can't get refunds anymore. I'm like, I didn't fucking do anything wrong. They were saying I violated their terms of service, and I didn't do anything wrong, so this is fucking ridiculous. But anyways, the actual thing that happened with the guy was, I had ordered some food, and the only reason that I even use Uber Eats over DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates, whatever the frick, is because when you live in bumfuck nowhere, and the nearest grocery store is 20 minutes away, then you can't really get ease of order with some delivery apps like DoorDash don't even deliver that far, so I always have to use Uber Eats, and I would pretty much usually order from Little Caesars just for a couple reasons, because they have the cheapest delivery fee, and also because I always order their deep dish pizza, which it's basically it's 8 big pieces, so I'd usually end up being able to finish. They're pretty huge. They're these big square ones, and they're pretty filling too, and I lost a little bit of weight, if you guys couldn't tell. But I did, so, it's not as easy for me to eat a bunch of food as I usually could. After a while, it's kind of your stomach actually gets smaller when you lose weight. You guys probably knew that. But it does and everything, and so it makes it harder for you to eat 2,500 calories a day, which is probably as much as I used to eat. I don't even know how much I eat now, but it just makes it harder for you to eat a bunch of food and everything, so I would just be able to have leftovers and everything, I wouldn't break the bank while doing it. There were times I'd order 1 or 2 things, and it'd be $40 just because of the stupid delivery fees. So I'd order that and everything, and I didn't tip, only because, not because I'm a jerk who doesn't want to tip. It was because, I couldn't tip. I had some gift card or whatever, and since I don't have a job at the moment, I'm still working on getting one and everything. I don't really have that much money, so I was using money from gift cards and stuff, and that was the last bit on there. There was only $20 on there or something, so that was as much as I could do. And I was telling the guy this when he was at the door and everything, because the order finally comes, and everything, and he was saying something about as soon as the order came, he was kind of standing there just kind of isn't there something else? And I go, you need something? And then he just starts kind of walking towards me and everything, and I was just okay, what's this guy gonna do? So I kind of closed the screen door. I have a screen door here. I'll fucking show you guys real quick just so you know what I'm talking about. So basically, I have the screen door, and it's locked and everything. He was standing outside of it, and I was right here, and he was on the other side, and you can still talk through it, so that was why I had it. Just because this guy could have a gun or a knife or something, so I didn't want to end up getting murdered, being one of those freaking Mr. Nightmare stories or whatever, scariest Uber Eats stories or some shit. I didn't want to die, so I basically just closed the door, and I was I don't know what this guy's gonna fucking do. I wasn't really scared. I was just this is a little weird, you know, you're not supposed to really do that. So then we were talking through the door, and he was like, aren't you forgetting something? I was like, no. What else would I be forgetting? He's like, you know, it starts with 3 letters, and I was like, I don't know. You know, and he's like, starts with 3 letters. I'm like, what? Just tell me. He's like, you know, a tip? I'm like, sorry, I can't afford the tip. He's like, well, then don't order fucking Uber Eats if you can't afford the tip. I'm like, okay, well, this is a job that you chose, alright? Like, you don't have to expect everybody to tip. Like, sure, it's a nice thing to do, but you shouldn't expect everybody to tip. And it's especially even more rude to ask for one, because there were times when I got really good service from somebody, and then they ask for a tip, and that's kind of really offensive, actually, to me. And I think to everybody, it's just I just don't like it when people ask for a tip, you know, like, it reduces the likelihood, essentially, that they're going to tip you if you say, basically, like, give me a tip. It's very rude, and you shouldn't do that at all, you know. And after that, this guy was getting all angry, and he was, like, yelling at me and everything. And he was like, why don't you fucking tip? Like, you gotta fucking give me a tip and everything. It's like, I'm fucking can't tip you, dude. Like, I'm not Mr. Krabs, like, penny pinching. You know, like, if I had $1 million, sure, I'd give you a tip. Like, if I had enough money where I didn't have to, you know, budget my money and be like, okay, if I spend this, will I be able to eat tomorrow? You know, like, when you're fucking basically poor as heck, then you can't really tip people. Like, you should just expect that no one's going to be able to tip you. I don't know, it's weird that they just keep asking for one. Like, you know, if I had enough money, I would, but I didn't, so. Then this guy just kept getting progressively more angry, and he basically, he hit the door, and I was, okay, like, I told him I was getting mad. I was like, alright, you calm down, and if you hit my door, I'm gonna call the police. And like I said, if you hit my door again, I'm gonna call the police. And he was like taunting me. He's like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, alright. And I pulled out my phone, you know, and I was like, I'm gonna dial 911. And I pushed it, and I was like, I just have to push one button, and I'll be connected to the police, and then I'll be connected to them, and I can tell them where I live, and they'll take you to jail. So what's it gonna be? You know, I don't want to have to be an asshole, but sometimes it just comes to that. So I was just thinking, like, okay, is this what we're gonna have to do? You know, so then he was all like, alright, fine, put your phone down and everything. So I did, and he was just saying, like, I just expect you to tip. Like, you drove like 10 miles, and I kept saying, like, at this point I was just so tired, and I was just like, I just want to fucking eat my food, because, you know, I didn't really have much of a lunch, because that day I woke up, and I had breakfast, and like 4 or 5 hours later, I fell asleep, took a nap, and I kind of slept through lunch and everything, and then I wasn't hungry till like 8:30 or something. I was just like, I just want to eat my food, you know, and I didn't sleep well, so I just want to eat my food, and I just want to, you know, go to bed in like an hour or so. I was just tired that day, and I was just like, thinking this is ridiculous, and I just went to the guy, I'm like, you're wasting my time. He's like, oh, whatever, fuck you. And then he finally left, and before he left, I heard him, like, he was like, call Uber Eats customer support, and he was doing that, and then, like, he gets to the thing, and he was all like, oh, the person, they didn't tip me, and I think, like, literally the customer support hung up on him, so I'm glad they didn't take his side, but he probably reported me and said, like, I whipped my dick out or something weird, because they were saying I violated their terms of service when they couldn't even specify what that means. It's like a cop pulling you over and then saying, well, I think you did something illegal, but I'm not going to tell you what, but I'm going to arrest you anyway. Like, you really can't do that, and I mean, like, if I didn't want to give somebody a refund when I worked at Domino's, I'd have to tell why, because there were plenty of times when people didn't know how shit works, so I'd have to say, this is why I can't give you a refund. I'm not trying to be an ass. Like, this is why I can't give you a refund, not just because I don't feel like it, you know. And then I had to report this guy, and they really didn't do anything. They were just saying, like, oh, we're gonna make sure that he can't deliver to you again. Like, okay, fine, whatever. And they didn't even seem like they cared. The guy was like, oh, well, I mean, maybe you should have tipped him. Like, I fucking borderline broke. I can't tip him, you know. But anyways, Stay hydrated, boys. Drinking fucking egg juice. Kidding, it's orange juice. Anyways, that is pretty much the end of the story, so thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.